Welcome back, everybody. It's me. And today, we are going to talk about some more health tips. We already know the 5 health tips that I talked about in my last video, so if you haven't seen that one, check it out. And then come back here and watch this one because these are all very important. They're easy to do, easy to remember, and they will make a huge difference in your life and your health. So let's get into it. So the first thing that we talk about today is how to be consistent with your fitness routine. Now, there are several ways to approach this, but one of the best ways that I've found is making it easy on yourself. For example, if you want to go running every morning, do you want to wait until you wake up in the morning to put on your shoes and then go for a run? That's not going to work. What you're going to do is the night before, you're going to pick out your clothes. You're going to have everything ready. You're going to lay your shoes right by the door or something. So when you wake up, it's super easy for you to go for that run. It's almost like an autopilot kind of thing. Another thing you could do is if you like doing your workouts in the evening, set a reminder on your phone, put it on your calendar. Just make it a habit to work out at the same time every day. All right, next one, a walk can be enough cardio. I'm not saying that you should only walk, but if you are unable to do any other type of cardio or any other type of exercise, walking is better than nothing. All right, so let's say, for example, you don't like running, you don't like swimming, you don't like biking, you don't like any of those things. You just like walking. Well, guess what? Walking is great. As long as you're getting 150 minutes of moderate intensity cardio per week, you're good to go. So if you can walk for 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that's perfect. That's exactly what you need. But what you should be focusing on is upping the intensity of that walk. So instead of just walking around the block, maybe you can walk up a hill, or you can walk up and down a flight of stairs, or you can walk pretty fast and just increase the intensity of that walk. Or you can also add some intervals where you walk very fast for like 30 seconds, and then you take a break for 30 seconds, and then you go very fast again for 30 seconds. You can do like 10 of those intervals, and that can really get your heart rate up and burn a lot of calories. All right, next one. What does a balanced diet look like? Now, I am a big advocate for not restricting foods and not labeling foods as good or bad. However, in order to lose weight, you do need to eat less calories than you burn. And in order to do that, you need to pay attention to the foods that you're re-eating and try to choose the ones that are less dense in calories. So for example, instead of having a piece of cake, you can have some fresh berries. Instead of having ice cream, you can have some non-fat Greek yogurt. Those are both desserts. But one is a lot less calories than the other one. Same thing with snacks. You can either have a bag of chips, which is like 500 calories, or you can have some almonds, 200 calories. So basically, you just want to try to find alternatives to the high-calorie dense foods that are still going to satisfy you. A really simple way to make sure that you're staying within your calorie range is to use some sort of tracking device. Whether it's an app or just a journal, whatever you like to use. And you just track everything that you eat for a couple of days. And then after you've done that a couple of times, you can pretty much just do it from memory. You won't even have to track anymore because you will just know how many calories are in the foods that you eat regularly. All right, next one. Sleep is important. Sleep is actually a big part of a good diet. When you don't get enough sleep, your ghrelin goes up, which is the hormone that makes you hungry. And your leptin goes down, which is the hormone that tells you you're full. So if you don't get enough sleep, you're feel hungrier throughout the day, and you're be more likely to overeat. So make sure you get at least 7-8 hours of sleep per night. All right, the next tip is how to reduce hip fat. This is a common problem that a lot of people have. How do you get rid of the fat around your hips and your thighs? Well, unfortunately, the only way to do that is to reduce your overall body fat percentage. There is no spot reduction for belly fat, for thigh fat, for arm fat, etc. So you can't just target fat and burn that fat without reducing body fat overall. So the best thing that you can do is just continue to do your resistance training to build muscle, keep your metabolism up, and then just reduce your overall calories. Now, the good news is that when you reduce your overall calories, your body will burn fat from all over, including your hips. So don't worry about just targeting the hip fat. Just focus on reducing your overall body fat, and your hips will be slimmer as well. So I hope that you enjoyed these 6 health tips. Like I said in my last video, these are just the basic things that you need to do to live a healthy lifestyle. It's not rocket science. It's not complicated. These are just the basic fundamentals that work. Now, if you're looking for a more advanced approach, Definitely check out my other videos on nutrition and exercise. I go into much more detail there. Also, if you are new to my channel, please take a second to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I post new videos. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments section and I will answer them. And as always, I want to thank everybody for watching and supporting. I'll see you guys soon.